Okay, I was asked during class if I would make a video about Friday's lesson involving slope-intercept form, so here it is. Start out saying that we learned that slope-intercept form is the equation that takes form y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept, or in other words, where the graph crosses the y-axis. So, for example, if I have the equation y equals 3x plus 5, I know that 3 is my slope and that this graph crosses the y-axis at negative 5. Now, the problem is, not all linear equations take this form. Some of them will be given to you like this, and this is what we call standard form. And what you'll notice, a big difference between standard form and slope-intercept form is that slope-intercept form is solved for y. In other words, it has y by itself, while in standard form it doesn't. So if I put it in slope-intercept form, it's a more useful form of the equation because then I'll know my slope and my y-intercept. But if it's in standard form, I want to put it into slope-intercept form so that I will know things about it because I currently know nothing about it. So to solve for y, I'm going to start by subtracting 3x from each side to get my 3x over there because I'm trying to get the y by itself. And instead of writing 16 minus 3x, I put negative 3x plus 16. It's the same. And then because it's y times a negative 2, I want to divide by a negative 2 on each side. And then I'm left with this all over negative 2. And I like to write this as two separate fractions. And I talked about why a lot of this stuff works in class, so if you're not just curious about the steps and want to know why I can do, for example, this step, come by and ask me and I'll be happy to explain it to you. But now we know that a negative over a negative is a positive, so that's 3 halves x, and then 16 divided by negative 2 is negative 8. Now, so I've taken my equation and put it in slope-intercept form. I now know that the slope is 3 halves and the y-intercept is negative 8. So, the reason that's useful is, let's go on to our graph now. I'm going to show you why it's useful to use that, because now that I have this information, it makes graphing really easy. Let me zoom out a little bit. If I start at the y-intercept, which I know to be a point of the line, negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I know that that's a point on this line. I also know that it has a slope of 3 halves, so that means I can rise 3, run 2, and put a point, because it's rise over run. And then I can keep going. Rise 3, run 2. Rise 3, run 2. And then, I'd use a straight edge if I had one, I can draw the line that goes through all these points, just by using the y-intercept and the slope that we found by putting our equation in the slope-intercept form. So let's recap really quick. When I have an equation, I want to put it into slope-intercept form, because once I put it into slope-intercept form, I know that the number next to x is your slope, and the number that's over here by itself is your y-intercept. Once you have those two pieces of information, you can start at your y-intercepts and count your slope up from there in order to graph the function.